president is probably one of the strongest presidents we've had on economic issues. There's a reason that over 1 million jobs have been created since he took office. There's a reason that the unemployment is at a 16-year low. There's a reason that the stock market is at an all-time high. He's very committed to job creation, economic growth, and he's going to continue to do that.
All right, that was White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders. That was earlier today during a White House press briefing, listing just a few of the president's economic accomplishments. Now, she's got the hardest job in the country, and earlier tonight we had a chance to speak with her, of course, on her father's birthday at the White House. All right, Sarah Sanders, now, I just had your dad on. You wished him a happy birthday today. Good thing you did. He would have been pretty angry. You know, I went through this today, too, and I didn't even know you were going to address it. And so I'm writing out, you know, preparing the show for today, and I just was like, nobody ever talks about his accomplishments, the things he does, what he's done on his own. And I'm like sending a message to Republicans, you guys got to get your act together. You got to create a sense of urgency to get things done. And as a conservative, that, you know, I can't appeal to the Democrats. They don't care what I think. I'm disappointed they haven't moved further. Where are you from your point of view? What's going to happen the next 3 months?
Look, I think we've got a very aggressive and big fall agenda set forward that we've really got to focus on, and we're going to need the Senate and the House to come together and actually get something done. I think they've had a free pass for the last, 8 years prior to the president coming into office, and they haven't been able to do things. And maybe that's been frustrating, and they haven't figured out how to move the ball forward, but now they've got a Republican president who's got a pen in hand that wants to be very aggressive, make bold reforms, particularly when it comes to taxes, infrastructure, health care, securing the border, national security by rebuilding the military. These are big things that this president is focused on. He's going to need Congress to get it together so that we can get some stuff accomplished.
You know, I tried to go through in the last couple of nights and even over the last couple of weeks the idea that the media in this country is so rigidly ideological, and they just don't want to give him a fair shake. It's either Russia, Russia, Russia. Well, interesting to read The Nation that it might not have been Russia after all, and we'll follow that story closely. Or it's he's about to nuke North Korea. Or it's race, race, race. Never giving the history of Donald Trump. Never the things that he said. And I went last night, I played ding, 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 ding. No, they don't care about truth. And you have to deal with these people every day. Does that get particularly hard when you know they're not being honest? I could not do your job, Sarah. I couldn't. It would be war up there every day.
Well, and sometimes there is a little bit, tougher days than others, but thankfully, and I've said this before, I have toddlers, so I'm used to answering the same questions over and over and over again, and I'm used to saying no an awful lot. So I have good practice at home that's prepared me to come in and deal with a sometimes childish press corps that likes to focus on the same thing and ask the same questions over and over again. But thankfully, we have a president that isn't focused on the things that the press is, and he's focused on helping the American people. It's one of the things I talked about earlier today. We have an economy that's booming, and that's in large part to the confidence that this president has given the business community, but also he's gotten rid of so many regulations, over 800 regulations, that have gotten government out of the way and allowed people to do what they do best, and that's create jobs, grow the economy, spend money. We are moving in the right direction, and that's at the leadership of this president.
Well, if Republicans don't get 7 brackets to 3, if they don't get the middle-class tax cuts, corporate tax cuts are so key to the economy, as is the trillions of repatriated money from multinationals at a low rate, and energy independence. To me, those are the things that are going to get the forgotten men and women that define this election back to work. Now, Mitch McConnell seemed to throw an olive branch at the White House. Are things cooling down a little bit, do you believe, between the Senate Majority Leader and the White House?
Look, the relationship there is fine, but what we've got to do is we've got to focus on our shared goals, which we have a lot. And we've got to get the Senate to where they're working hard to actually get things accomplished, not just talk about them. They've been talking about them for 7 years. They've campaigned on them, and now they've got to start legislating. Look, it's Congress's job to legislate. It's the president's job to lead. He's doing his part. Now Congress has got to step up and do theirs, and we're confident moving into the fall that everybody's ready to come together, focus on these shared goals, and really get some big things done for the American people.
All right, now I can say who I think is the most obnoxious, rude, ideological in that room, CNN, fake news. But from your perspective, that's not a question you're ever going to answer, are you?
No, I don't like to play favorites or non-favorites. Look, I'm here to promote the president's agenda, certainly not to promote anybody in the media. I think anytime I mention them, it only helps them get a little bit more publicity. So I'll leave that to you, and I'll focus on just pushing for the president today.
Well, you're really good at your job. I could not do what you do. I hope people appreciate just how hostile it is in that room. We give you a lot of credit for standing up there every day. It's a tough job. Sarah?
Thank you. I appreciate it. I think it's a fun job, too.
If that's fun, I think I can think of a million other fun things. Thanks for being with us. When we come